Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am here today to tell you guys how I passed the NCLEX in 75 questions in an hour. I am so excited to be filming this video because I just want to share with you guys everything that I've learned on this journey from finishing nursing school to taking the NCLEX. So if you are new to my channel, hello, my name is Michelle. I am 23 years old. I just finished nursing school about 2 months ago, and I recently took my NCLEX, and I have been a registered nurse now for like 5 days. I have 4 things that I use to study for the NCLEX. So I have these 3 books and then my laptop. First things first, I owe all of my success, I owe all of my knowledge and willpower to UWorld. If you don't know what UWorld is a studying tool that you can use. There's like Kaplan, Hearst, ATI, Saunders. Well, UWorld is an online source, and I'm gonna actually pull it up on my laptop for you guys. You can buy different care packages. Each care package comes with a certain amount of questions and like test assessments that you can do. The minimum was like $150. That's like the minimum package where you get to see the question bank. There's 2,000 questions. You get to see that once, and I don't know if you get practice assessments with it. I went with the second package up, which was the $249 package, where I got to see the 2,000 question bank twice, which I actually did not even use twice. I actually only went through it one time, so that was enough for me, but I wanted to be safe than sorry. So I got the package where you can access the question bank twice, and then I had the practice assessment 1 and practice assessment 2, and I took both of them as well. Also, if you go with the baseline plan for like $150, it's never too late to upgrade it. I believe at the end or somewhere on UWorld, you're allowed to upgrade your plan. So it's not like a final thing. Like if you choose the $150 and you wanted to purchase another 2,000 question bank, you can still upgrade as you go. I didn't have to upgrade, so I'm not sure how you do it, but I know there is an option for that. Before we get into UWorld, because that is like the meat and potatoes, we're going to start off with the other resources that I use that you can purchase like on Amazon that's a lot more affordable. First off, I get a lot of questions about this book. This is my ATI comprehensive book that was actually given to me at the live review that my school paid for. So my program was generous enough to pay for all our students. It was about $400, and it was in person with like a teacher from the company that came that taught us for 3 days, and I went to it, and they gave you this book. So this book is basically everything in 2 years, and what I did was I went to the review. So I wrote when I was going to take practice assessment 1, practice assessment 2, and then I wrote my test date, which was originally the 23rd, but I actually pushed it back to the 18th because I was feeling ready, and I was like, I'm not gonna wait any longer. So when you get books like this or books like this, you're thinking, where the heck do I start for NCLEX, right? Well, for me, I figured, you know what? It would only make sense to start from antepartum, which is like pre-labor, while the mom is pregnant, up until the time of death, and then hospice care and all that good stuff. I feel like working down a chronological time frame was just the smartest thing to do. So what helped me was I started from antepartum. So, you know, like how much folic acid a mom should be having when she's pregnant, the signs and symptoms in each trimester. I started off with like the production of a child up until I went to labor and delivery. I went to peds. And then after peds, I dabbled into mental health because I just feel like, you know, teenage years, I just threw mental health into there. I went to, after mental health, I went up into adult health, and I combined pharmacology with adult health. So what I mean by that is when I was going over the cardiovascular disorders and the diseases and the surgical procedures that come with cardiovascular, I also threw in pharmacology meds that had to do with the cardiovascular system. So all the beta blockers, the ACE inhibitors, anything related to cardiovascular, I did everything together at once. I know it sounds like really heavy because like pharm alone is like so much information, and then adult health is so much information. But I felt like it worked for me to work and study side by side because it would just make sense. Like if I'm studying about the heart and everything about the heart, let's just learn everything, including the meds that are involved in the plan of care. So I went with that type of study plan. And where UWorld came in handy with helping me do that is, first of all, I'm gonna show you guys this. I'm gonna go to my question bank. And what I did was, when I'm doing the question bank, it'll look like this. I would go to right here, which says adult health, and I would go down here where it says farm, and those are the main subjects that I wanted to hit. Then when I scroll down, I would see how it divides it up per system. I know it's hard to see, but it says cardiovascular, endocrine, GI systems. So if we're doing cardiovascular only, I'll just click on that, and it has about 101 questions with farm and adult health. I go down, I'll do like 75 questions, and then I press start. And then all these questions now are all cardiovascular. It's not gonna throw me endocrine, it's not gonna throw me resp, because I haven't covered those yet. How I implemented this into my study schedule was, since I started off with, for example, labor delivery. This is maternal and newborn nursing, and I would go through and just read. I would read the section that I'm going to quiz myself on UWorld. So I did them side by side. So like here it's fetal heart monitoring. I would go through all the labor and delivery stuff, like all this stuff. I would just read it through, you know, take an hour to just read the concept that I'm on. Once I'm done with that, that's when I went into UWorld and I would click on maternal newborn and narrow in on what concept that I focused on in here, and then I tested myself on UWorld. And UWorld had way more information, so I felt like this gave me a good review and kind of like a refresher to be like, okay, I kind of remember this stuff, to really kind of like refresh my mind and all the things that I've learned in nursing school. But I use UWorld to test my knowledge if I can use what I learned here into here. UWorld rationales, everybody says they were good, but I didn't know they were that good until I used them. And I was tempted. Mom, if you're watching this video, I love UWorld so much. I'm willing to get a tattoo right in my lip that says UWorld. Now, if you don't have an ATI book, that's fine. You can purchase this book on Amazon. I think it was like 40 bucks or something like that. I had this book since my first semester of nursing school. Never really went through it, really. I should have, because like I said in my previous videos, I was not an A student. I'm not dumb, but I'm not like, I don't study super hard, you know, during nursing school. I just had other priorities, really. If you look up ATI Comprehend, this is the book. If you look up the Comprehensive Review RN Review, 18th edition, I don't know if they sell this on its own, because again, it was provided through my school. But if they do sell this, then I would pick this up for sure. If you can't get hold of this, this is the next best thing. I honestly rarely opened while studying for NCLEX because I had this, which was just smaller. Like, let's be real. Like, am I really gonna open this fat book if I have this tiny one? Probably not. In the beginning of my study schedule, I was trying to go through these two books and then I would quiz myself on UWorld. But I realized that, you know, I was kind of tight on time, so I just kind of focused on ATI. But what's great about the Saunders is this is the book to go to if you just want key, basic, big idea pictures. This book is the go-to. So for example, if I'm reading on Kawasaki's, if I'm reading on Kawasaki's, I'm saying it's so funny, Kawasaki's disease in ATI, and I feel like, okay, well, they gave me a tiny excerpt. I kind of want to know more about Kawasaki's. Then I would go into this book, flip to peds, which is this orange stuff right here. I would flip to peds and I would read up on Kawasaki's because this book is so good and giving you key ideas and just breaking down the basic concepts. I feel like this book should be called like NCLEX for Dummies. Last thing I want to share with you guys that is not like a book that I bought. It's actually something that I just did on my own and I found that it worked for me, so maybe it'll work for you. I took all of my NCLEX notes in here. So everything that I've learned from Saunders and ATI and UWorld all went in here. So I'm gonna show you guys how I kind of organize this. So this is from the live review. But let me start off, let me show you guys where I started. Okay, so what I did was I would date the days that I covered like each material, if that'll So here it says June 1st. On UWorld, I went through fundamentals. So fundamentals, and I did math. I just wrote like C. diff is contact precautions, just things that I was going over. June 2nd, I went through antepartum. And here I wrote like second trimester is this. These are all of my notes. And you see that? I went ham. I wrote everything that I felt like I had to remember. Here, I could not get myself to differentiate between the different congenital diseases, so I just went and wrote them down. So here I have patent ductus arteriosus, VSD, ASD, tetralogy of Fallot. So I want to show you guys how UWorld works and how I make little study tests based on what concept I was covering. So because I'm going down a chronological timeline to study, I start off on child health. And then if I go down, say I want to do cardiovascular, that's what I'm focusing on. We'll do 12 questions. One thing I liked about UWorld is you can actually press it to like cross off, which is another handy thing. Okay, then here it gives you some statistics of how many people answered it correctly, how many seconds you spent, blah, blah, blah. Here it'll say, this is what you guys need to read, the rationale. Just because you get it right or wrong, don't skip the rationale. Read it. I love that it tells you what Kawasaki disease is, tells you everything, first line of treatment, IV immunoglobulins, and then it even goes on to tell you why each of these options, 2, 3, and 4, were not right. And that's what I need. And it's not just like, oh, they're not right because it's just not right. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. I try to keep it short and sweet. I know it's kind of a long video, but I wanted to make sure I covered everything and I gave you guys all the information and all the resources that I use so that you guys can maybe use it too. I wish you guys the best of luck on your exam. Give me a comment below if you guys enjoyed this and let me know if there's any other videos you guys want me to make.